Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I like to share with you my favorite self-love activity. It's really what helps me feel balanced and really helps me connect to who I am on a much deeper level, and just a reminder of who I am really. It's also the thing that really got me started on my self-love journey in 2008, many, many years ago. So if you're feeling unbalanced or if you're struggling with your mental health, your mental well-being, where you're just feeling kind of negative or just not yourself today or lately, or you're just not quite sure where to go, like what next step to take, or where you need a sense of direction, you're just kind of feeling lost, this episode is for you. So, what is this activity I'm talking about? It is yoga. Now, bear with me. Don't get off this episode yet. If yoga is not your thing, just stick with me and I'm going to share a few things with you and some really simple steps you can take to really create some balance and to really just help you feel positive. Because right now it can get a little bluesy, like a little funky, right? Our minds can get a little depressed over this time. Or in general, any time in your life, really, anytime, right? So bear with me while I share some really cool things with you with yoga. So lately, I have been feeling like a hot mess, like a super hot mess, not connected to who I am, not really feeling good. I've been in a negative vibe, like just feeling yucky and just growly and not myself at all. And part of the reason I've been feeling this way is because I haven't been showing up on my yoga mat. It's been a few weeks now, I think, or at least a couple weeks. As of recording this, last week was a crazy week. I live on the coast in BC, Canada, and we actually got some snow. We don't get snow very often, sometimes once a year, maybe twice, but not often. Not a huge fan of it. It's one of the reasons that brought us out to BC in the first place. Okay, my kids, or at least my son, really loves snow. However, it's not so much about the snow or my feelings around the snow, but it's what happened with the snow. So because it's very hilly here and there's lots going on, and we actually got quite a bit of snow this time, we had quite the week where school was closed one day and buses weren't running. Now, thankfully, my kids can walk, but it changed up everything. And in fact, we can't actually get out of our driveway when it snows because of our road. It doesn't get plowed. So at least for a couple of days till bigger trucks can drive down it and pat it down for us. But we're kind of stuck or we have to walk everywhere until we can get out. And that's, so anyways, so we went from like having a schedule, kind of, sort of, to not, right? Like last week, which is crazy. The schedule, things got canceled. There's no swimming lessons and things like that. And the week before, I wasn't on my yoga mat either. So all in all, I was just not showing up for myself. The thing that I needed, I wasn't doing. So the other day, actually yesterday, as I'm recording this, I was reminded of how important yoga is for my overall well-being. When I don't show up on my mat, I just lose that connection to my being. I lose my emotional, emotional ability to or my mental ability to connect to my emotions properly. Like they go off on their own. They have a mind of their own. Like they go crazy. So if I'm not doing that, if I'm not showing up for me on my mat, then, oh my goodness, my life is not reflecting who I am anymore. It's literally a hot mess. So why, to me, does yoga my favorite activity? Well, there's a few reasons, but one of them is because it involves so many things. So in this episode, I'm sharing with you yoga asanas. It's more about the yoga asana itself because there's multiple branches of yoga. Yoga isn't just the asanas, the movement on the mat. It is so much more than that. But today in this episode, I am sharing about the asanas and the magic of them, along with the meditation one as well. Because I practice Ashtanga yoga, and that we actually focus on 8 limbs of yoga. So there's so much more layers to yoga than just the movement. However, movement is so good. When we move our bodies, we really can help ourselves stay connected to ourselves more, but at the same time, it just helps our mental state. Emotionally, our emotional well-being is so much better. It's just so good. And then with yoga, we're breathing, we're slowing down, we're in the moment, flowing through it. Instead of forcing, we're flowing. And it's so beautiful. Yoga also means union. So with one. And whenever I'm on my yoga mat, I'm just so much more connected. And again, I was reminded of this. So this was just yesterday. I started getting back to my practice where I'm like, I need to make this a priority. I knew I was off the rails and I was just not feeling good. I was just not at a good place. I'm like, I really need to meet myself on the mat, whatever that looks like in that moment. So I did. And oh my gosh, it was so good. And as I'm going through my yoga practice, I could feel my creativity coming back. So I haven't been feeling really creative lately. And then all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, and I had all these ideas rushing through me, including this podcast episode idea. I was like, yes, it just reminded me how important it is to connect myself on my mat and to show up for me. And like I said, I'm going to share some simple, awesome ways that you can do this too. You don't need a lot of time. It's just about showing up for you. So like I said, the yoga asanas are really what I'm talking about here, but also meditation. So what I do is I end my yoga asana practice with meditation. Now, some people meditate before their yoga practice and get grounded and set an intention for their practice. I like to do mine at the end after I've kind of cleaned out my, negative, it's kind of like cobwebs kind of thing. Like I'm just kind of cleaning myself out on the mat and just being there. And then I sit in my practice and it kind of steadies me after my practice. But some people need the steadiness before, and whichever way works for you is the way you can do it, because it's finding what works for you. We're all unique and beautiful in our own ways, and it's doing what feels right to you. And that comes to when you practice yoga, how you practice yoga, and things like that as well. So I've mentioned yoga before on my podcast because I really think it's super important. And today's episode was really about it being this activity that can really help you stay balanced. It's great for mental health and just really helps you stay connected to who you are. I also shared how it was the first activity that really got me into my self-love practice in the beginning. So many years ago in 2008, about February or March, I started taking yoga classes at the gym I was a member of. It was about twice a week, and it just really got me connected, and it just felt good. I was like, yes. After many years of kind of making fun of yoga and be like, I don't have time to slow down, I finally realized that it was time to slow down. And it also was when I learned how to meditate better. So I really found a technique, or really let myself play with meditating. So before my meditation met my yoga practice, I had some hard times. And I think I've shared this before, so I won't go too much into it. But if you've missed that episode, when I was living with my grandma, and I was living with her in 2008, I was laying down in the basement trying to meditate. And I remember she came in and I was all growly and I was like, I'm trying to meditate. And I was so rigid and things like that. Oh, how much I've come a long way too, because just today when I was doing my yoga practice, I was in Shavasana And my husband was downstairs doing a few things and he was banging her out. I was like, oh, of course that's me when I'm in Shavasana. I was like, right. It was a reminder to go inward, not outward. Doesn't mean it doesn't get frustrating at times, but it was like, right. Find my calm inward. It's just like when my kids are home, especially over summer break, where they're always home, where I just have to learn to meditate through the noise. So anyways, it's come a long way. So be patient with yourself through this. So I was having those moments where I was like, grr, and I was rigid and I thought I had to be perfect and I had to meditate a certain way. But the thing is, it's being loving and patient with yourself through the process. And when I finally showed up to a yoga class, I really got to realize that, where it's like, oh, like it's not going to be the same every day. And it's just, where, we're going to have better days than others. And even today when I was meditating, I'm like, whoa, my brain is all over the place today. And there's like, okay, refocus on my breathing. And a side note on meditation is that if you have a hard time just focusing just in the moment with nothing, guided meditations are really, really good. And if you're looking for one, I have a free meditation and a free visualization on my website. So you can check that out. You can check it out. It's completely free and it will help get you started. They're short because I know, gotta fit it into your busy day, right? So just a small little time for you to slow down and connect with yourself. Now, over time, I've been able to meditate without a guided meditation. But up until I think like last year, I was always using guided meditations. And even now, I love using guided meditations still. Just that sometimes I just use mantras where I say 2 words like with my breath and things like let go or I am healthy, I am fit, I am strong, like just different things like that I'm just really focused on. Anyways, I talk more about meditation in a different episode, so I don't want to go too long down this one. I just want you to know that yoga, between the movement, the breathing, and the meditation after, can really help ground you, 1, in the moment, 2, and to really just connect to your heart and to who you are, and then let everything else go. Like, I love being on my mat and letting it all go because it's like, leave it on the mat. Okay, so as promised, I want to share simple ways that you can incorporate yoga into your life. Now, maybe you've tried it before, maybe it didn't work out. Maybe you love yoga and it's already part of your daily life and awesome. Or maybe you're just like, I don't know if this is for me. You don't have to do a lot of it for it to help you. So it's even doing 5-10 minutes a day. Roll out your mat, start small, and show up. Actually, I always find the hardest part about my yoga practice is starting. The moment I roll out the mat, boom, I set my attention. This is happening. Or on the days that I'm really lazy and I'm like, I don't want to clean my mat after. I'm only going to do 1 sun salutation. I don't need a mat. And I start doing it. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm going to continue. And then I do my whole practice without a mat. So that's the other thing. You don't need a lot of space. You don't even need a lot of things. Hopefully a mat, but like I said, you can do it without a mat if you really, really want to, but it's not so great on the knees. I guess unless you have carpet, but then you're a little slippy slidey. So I really recommend a mat. But the cool thing is you really don't need a lot of space for a mat, and all your things will pretty much happen on your mat. So isn't that cool? It's very confined. But you don't have to be, right? Yoga helps you open up space to really get to know yourself better. And so a mat, and then it's just showing up. So it's about finding a time that works for you. Does morning work better for you? Or does the evening work better? Or somewhere in between? I do my yoga practice first thing in the morning for a few reasons. 1, if I don't do it in the morning, I just end up not having enough time at the end of my day anymore. Second of all, I have gut issues, and if I eat before doing my yoga practice, I can feel it and I have indigestion. So I prefer to do my yoga practice on an empty stomach. However, that being said, I used to practice yoga in the evenings because that's when it worked better for me. It's a really good way to wind down your day if you do restorative yoga. And in fact, my yoga classes were in the evenings. So I always did, for the most of my life, I did my yoga practice at night. But as I had, my kids and I was like, okay, they're napping, and I would fit it in earlier. And honestly, by the end of the day, I'm just kind of done. So I really try to do it all in the morning. But that doesn't mean that you can't do yours in the evening. So pick a time that works for you. And then find a space that's going to work for you. Now, you can keep moving around, though. That's the cool thing about a mat. You can take it wherever you want. I'm looking forward to the nice weather where I can do yoga on our back deck. And so you can just move around or have a spot, whatever works best for you. And set the intention to show up. So it's just doing things. There's a lot of free online videos. YouTube is full of them. The one I love, and I just love her, and she's been a part of my yoga life and my journey. And I know I don't have any ties to her or anything, but she's just my natural path. When I was in Ontario, introduced me to her YouTube channel, and I've followed her since. And it's Yoga with Adrienne. So if you're looking for something online for free, she's incredible and amazing, and I love her vibe, and she adds self-love into things. Someday I'm looking forward to including yoga in my own coaching and supportive videos, but for now I haven't done that yet. Even though I'm a yoga teacher, I haven't figured out how to, incorporate that into my world yet of helping others. So there's that. And she has different time periods. Like if you only have 5 or 10 minutes, you look that up, and you can go longer than that. So that's really cool. She also has meditations in there as well. So if you want more than just my free one on my website, she has more on hers on the YouTube channel as well. Also, a side note on meditating. I really, really encourage you, since you're on your mat anyways, to take 5 or 10 minutes to meditate. Either a guided meditation or just set a timer. I set a timer on my phone, and it will chime when it's done. So even 5 minutes can really help you. And if you don't want to do a guided meditation, then it's picking words. So you can say so you inhale on let and exhale go. It can be that simple. And I know 5 minutes can sound like a lot, but man, those 5 minutes can fly by the moment you decide to do it, right? It's like, I can do this. So it's fitting those 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes into your day. It can feel hard at first, starting something new, fitting something new into your life. But it's taking it one step at a time. And like I said before, usually the hardest part is starting. So roll out your mat and set the intention to do 5 to 10 minutes, and then see what happens. See how you feel. Now, try not to just do 5 to 10 minutes and then give up because things felt hard or rough. If things felt hard or difficult or challenging, or you're like, grr, and you're cursing my name and be like, why does Jody even recommend this? Take a minute, focus on your breathing, and ask yourself, what is the challenge? What is the struggle you're facing? Is it because your body's, having a hard time flowing? Is it your mind? If your mind's not on board, then it's hard to get your body moving and flowing as well. So it's just really being honest with yourself in that moment. Be like, why am I having a hard time? Maybe you're going through those 5-10 minutes thinking about all the other things you could be doing instead of these 5-10 minutes. Remember what I said earlier. Yoga helps me stay balanced. It helps me reconnect to who I am, to the present moment. It is the thing that started my whole self-love journey, the thing that really got me started on meditation and really put it all together, connected it all. Now, I could be completely biased, but yoga literally has changed my life for reals. And that's why it's my favorite self-love activity. And coming from somebody that hasn't done it for a couple weeks until like I've done it now 2 days consistently. And let me tell you, when you're consistent, like you don't want to not do it because you feel good. And then my life will happen and, there'll be a snow day or a kid's homesick and, one day's off. And then it's every day missed is a little harder to get back to the mat. But then when I get back, I'm like, right, this is why I do it. This is why I show up every day on my mat, because it feels good. And it helps me. It's the foundation for setting up an amazing, incredible life. 5-10 minutes. Like my yoga practice goes anywhere from half an hour to an hour and a half. Mostly half an hour to an hour. Because, sometimes life is a little hard to do an hour and a half. But you don't do that. It's 5-10 minutes and building yourself up. But not doing that, like taking weeks and weeks off, reminded me of how important it is to slow down, to get to the mat and move my body in a loving way so I can show up in a loving way. Because, like I said, I was a hot mess not that long ago. And I decided to choose me. I decided to choose the activity that would help me show up as my best self, not the grumpy, miserable person that I was a couple days ago. Does that mean that I don't have little grumpy moments or that I don't get mad or upset or cranky? Heck no, it still happens. But when I am showing up to my mat, I can connect to I just can control my emotions better. I can communicate better. I'm not as yelly or complainy. And it really just helps. Sometimes gratitude isn't enough when you're having a negative, frustrating day or you feel depressed. I went through before the snow week, the week before, I was having a lot of tension and things. I really should have showed up to my mat, to be honest. I probably could have used it. Hindsight though, 2020, right? You can always figure out a problem when you're not in the middle of the problem. You're right, I can see it now. But I wasn't feeling good. And then it kept snowballing bigger and bigger and bigger. Gratitude is great, especially when you're at a decent place. But when you're snowballing out of control and you can't grab hold of your emotions and kind of calm them down, or you don't feel centered and grounded and you just you're losing control. Gratitude doesn't always help. It's getting on your mat, moving and flowing through the asanas, connecting to your breath, and then meditating and kind of see what's going on with your mind, what's going on with you, connecting to your heart. And that is why this is my favorite self-love activity, is because it can help in so many areas of our life. And like I said, the more I stay consistent, the less I miss out on my yoga practice. But then, like I said, life happens, and then it's remembering, right, meet me at the mat. Even over the holiday season, I made sure that I was on my mat at least. I aim for 5 days a week, so Monday to Friday, because my weekends, I kind of just want to hang out with my kids, honestly. So I practice from Monday to Friday right now. In the summer months, I might need to add Saturday just to feel grounded a little bit more. It really depends on what's going on in my life and what I can fit into my life, right? It's figuring out how to shift things around. But the one thing I know for sure is I'm a much better person, more focused and more connected to my values, my being, and just in the moment more when I practice yoga. And I hope that makes sense. So today, I encourage you to roll out your mat, try 5 to 10 minutes, grab your free meditation off my website. It's completely yours. You just go into my website, you get to download it, and it's yours forever. So it's really great. And like I said, I believe it's 5 minutes long. If anything, it's no more than 10, because I know how important it is to fit little pockets of things into your day. Because honestly, I usually meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to share with you, I almost forgot, is it's really important to just start and be where you are. find 5 to 10 minutes. But the other thing that is so important, and I really do feel that is overlooked. And at the same time, like I remember when I first started doing, I remember when I first started taking yoga classes, my favorite posture was Shavasana, corpse pose, laying down at the end. Like I was like, this is my favorite. Well, here's the thing. It is the most amazing posture. So maybe if you're just starting out and you're overwhelmed, you don't want to go on YouTube, you don't want to check any videos out. If you know what cat-cow is, it's going on your hands and knees and then lifting your belly button to the spine and then bringing it down and arching your back. And you slowly do that for a little bit. There's child's pose, where you're sitting on your knees and you lay your hands out in front of you. Now, I personally like taking my knees out to the side so I can really get a deep stretch in there and then bringing my toes together. I hope that helps. It's just doing a few simple postures. It doesn't have to be complicated. And then roll onto your back and get into Shavasana and lay there and just feel your body and relax every muscle. So an easy thing to do, or maybe at least I feel it easy. I shouldn't say it's easy because maybe it's not. But it's just slowly starting at your head and just relaxing each muscle. So you just, focus on anything that you can feel tense, but like relax your eyes, relax your jaw, and relax your shoulders. And you do a body scan from head to toe and relaxing your body and just laying there. This is a great time to, if you have any affirmations, like Louise Hay has some beautiful affirmations and you could have it playing on in the background when you're laying in Shavasana. And then you slowly wake your body up and come up. And that's, if you meditate at the end, that's when I would meditate. But if you do anything with your 5 to 10 minutes, lay in Shavasana. I really encourage you to do a few postures before, if possible. But even if you're following like Yoga with Adrienne or any other YouTube person that has put some beautiful videos out there, spend a few minutes in Shavasana. 5 to 10 minutes is really good. But if that's too much to begin, just anything is better than nothing. That's been my motto. Like anything is better than nothing. So 5 minutes of meditation is better than if I don't meditate. Same with yoga. 5-10 minutes is better than if you don't show up on the mat. As a yoga teacher, I do have some practices that I do. So I have one that's shorter for half an hour if I don't have time for my hour and a half one, because I do practice Ashtanga yoga. So it's doing the primary series. But sometimes you don't have that much time to do the whole thing. So it's just finding what works right for you. I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, grab your free meditation from my website. If you have found this helpful, please share this with others. Share the love. Like I said, yoga has literally changed my life. I know I've mentioned this before on my podcast, but like I said, I was reminded of it and how important it was. Like so much better from like just a couple days ago. I am eating better. Like just, it connects to everything, my whole being. And like I said, I might, be biased. I love yoga and maybe you do too, or maybe you will. It's giving it a shot and seeing what works for you. It has all the good stuff in it though. Movement, breathing, meditation. So give it a shot and just see what happens. See how you feel. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, share the love. And I also have a free 12-day self-love challenge called Some Serious Self-Love Challenge. It is 12 days of very simple but fun activities to bring some serious self-love into your life. So if it's something you'd really like to do, maybe yoga isn't your thing. Maybe you're like, no, not yet, Jody. Or maybe you want more. Some Serious Self-Love Challenge will really help you. You get an email every day with like a little activity, a little encouragement from me to help you include some serious self-love into your life. Thank you again for being here. I'm just so grateful for you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.